Hello everyone, it's Mish here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and if you are returning, thank you so much, my friends, my kindred spirits, for always leaving your comments and checking things out for me. And I sometimes just love sitting in here if I'm feeling that I just need to connect, and it's so funny how we can connect over the internet. I never sometimes thought that was possible, but so today is just going to be a craft with me. I want to do a couple Christmas things, and I just thought, well, I might as well hop on, and if you guys want to craft along, I don't know how long the video is going to be, but what I want to do today is just make a mini flip, a mini album. I've been putting some together to send out in Happy Mail, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to hop on and get some started for you guys. So I'm just going to show you sort of the project that we're going to be doing. So it's just a little flip that you just flip open, and then it has a little flip up. Okay, it has some pockets for different little things you might want to stuff in there. And yeah, so that's what we're going to make today. Well, we're going to make the flip, and then I'm not sure how long that video is going to be. So what I thought I would do is we'll make the flip, and then I'll make part 2 where we'll just make some things, some tags and some things that we can stick inside it. So I'm going to use two 12 by 12, so I guess you could call this a 2-sheet wonder. You could do it with one sheet, you definitely could, but I just wanted a variation in my pattern. So just as an idea, you know, you can mix and match. I already have cut out some of the pieces just to save time. So I used 2 sheets. One was this one here, which was the snowman. Okay, so that was a 12 by 12 somehow. Anyway, so that was one of my 12 by 12s, and the other 12 by 12 was in the same pack, which was this one. Okay, so you definitely could do it with one sheet, but if you want a little bit of variation, you can do it. You can make two from two sheets. All right, so the first set of cuts that I've cut out from this 12, it's 12 across and it's 5 inches. So I've got 2, okay? And then that leaves me with a 2-inch strip that I can use for pockets. And also, don't ever throw away your branding strips. And the reason that I say that is because there is always a bit of pattern strip. But the thing that I like as well is that whatever the pack is, so chillin' with my snowman, you can use that as a label or something just to put in your projects. So this set was chillin' with my snowman. I've been watching too many of those crime shows. Okay. So we've got a 2-inch. I'm just going to set one of these 5-inch aside for now. I'll make that one later. So we have one 5 by 12 inch strip, and then I've just taken my scoreboard, but you don't need a scoreboard. You could measure across, and I've scored at 4 and at 8. Okay, so again, it's 12 by 5, and you're scoring at 4 and 8. So when I fold this, I tend to fold my left-hand side one first, because I want that to come all the way over to the score line, and then the one that's going to be inside, I then fold it up to just to where that score is, so that I can fold it like a book. So that's kind of your basic album. So then with the other piece that we need, we're going to do a flip that's going to go inside your center panel. So for this one, I've cut 2, one to go with my other one, but you're going to cut this, again it's 12, I cut mine at 3 3/4. You could do it just a little hair bigger, but you want it so that it's going to be able, the flaps are going to be able to close around it. So mine is 3 3/4. All right, so I've got this spare piece, and then I have one for my other album, which I'm going to set aside. So if it's directional, if your paper is directional, like this one, you want to make sure that you're cutting your paper on the right elevation. So for this one here, I knew I wanted it to be my front page. So when I cut it at 5, I turn the snowman to the side. I then cut it so that they would be facing the right direction. Okay, if that makes sense. So with this one here, it's not directional. So it doesn't matter. All right, and that's what's going to go in my center. All right, so then I'm happy with that because I like the flowers, and when you flip it, I think that's good by the time we decorate it. So with this centerpiece, it is going to be a pocket. So I'm going to, you can either glue around it or tape around it. I think I'll just take my Elmer's glue. This is the Strong All Glue All. It's a stronger glue. Okay, and then when you're putting your glue down for your pocket, you also want to make sure that it's going the right way. So I want mine to open so that the top flap opens up. And I'm going to set that almost to the bottom, but not, because I want a little space there to put some tags in. And I want to make sure it's going to close. That looks pretty good. So I wanted mine so that when I open it, the top flap opens up. So that's where I put my glue along the left hand, the bottom, and the top, keeping that in consideration. Okay, so that's down. Okay, we'll let that dry. And then, so now I want to add some other things here. I want to do a little strip, a little belly band. I'm going to move my scoreboard out of the way and get my trimmer out. So I want to put a little belly band along here that we can tuck something in. So I could use that back one, but I want to use, I think I'd like to use, see, here's where I could use the branding strip. All right, so I could use that little bit of blue there. The thing with that though is I'm just thinking it might be a little bit too skinny for what I want. So I think I'll set that aside and find a place for it somewhere else. Okay, so I want that strip to be roughly, I don't know, an inch or so, maybe just a little bit less than an inch. So let's just try, I don't know, 7/8 is a good compromise. Okay, and it's going to be 7/8 and then the width of my folder, which is 4. So I'm going to go 4. Okay, and then we're just going to glue that down. And there we go. And I'm going to put it, not going to put it right to the bottom, but I'm not going to put it in the middle either. Just want it a little bit towards the bottom. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher, like right there. So I guess if I was to measure that, it would be about 2 inches from the bottom. And I might need to put more glue there because I've been fiddling with that. It just doesn't look straight. Yeah, that looks straight. I think I'm going to have to add a little bit more glue there. Okay. All right, so that's our little belly band. Okay, so then on the inside, I want to put a pocket. So we could put the snowman, or we could put the flowers, or we could put the blue. So I think I'm going to put the snowman, and I think that's probably, it's 2 inches. Yeah, that's exactly where I want that. Okay, so the width of my book is 5, so I'm going to cut this at 2 inches by 5. Okay, and then we could put a thumb notch there, which always looks kind of cute, or we could leave it straight and put some trim there, like I like using ribbon and stuff, so I'm trying to picture in my mind. I think I'm going to leave it, well, you guys can decide what you're going to do in your own one, but I like the idea of a thumb notch, so that's what I'm going to do. So for this one here, I do like to get it in the center, and I know that this is 5 inches, so the center is going to be 2.5 here. So I'm just going to take my 2-inch circle punch and just roughly get that in the center. Okay. So yeah, so I like that. So then I'm just going to get that down. You could use your double-sided tape again, or your glue of choice. So I got up this morning at 5:30. I have a vacation day today. So today's the 12th. So I've taken today and tomorrow off. Tomorrow would have been my mother's birthday. So I'm trying to do things today and tomorrow that, I don't know, just A, as a distraction, and B, that I know on her birthday we would do. So sometimes on her birthday, I would take the day off work, and she would, and we'd have a craft day. So we'd just have a day where we could make some things, sometimes for the Christmas sales, so we'd sell things, our little crafty projects, or sometimes we would just be working on stuff for Christmas presents or something. So I'm sharing it with you guys, and she's here in spirit. So that's what I want to do over the next couple days. Okay, so we've got our little pocket there, so I want another little pocket on this side. And I think because I've got the snowman there, I'm going to use this one for my snowman here. So this is 4 inches across. So I'm going to cut this at 4. And I'm going to put another thumb notch in there. And 2 is in the center of there. And I'll use the same circle punch. Any circle punch you have that you want to use, or you could just use something circular to draw, to trace around, and then cut it out by hand if you don't have a circle punch. It's not necessary to have, everything. I've been hoarding things. The rest of my house is pretty good. My craft room, not so much. But that's the way it is with a lot of us, I think. Okay, so we do want this not, we just want it a hair short of 4, so that it will not sit in the fold, that you'll be able to fold your little mini fold. Okay. All right. And so we have that. So we have our tuck, or our pocket. We have a couple little pocket there, little pocket or tuck spot there. Okay, so then for the inside here, I want to do a couple things. So I'm thinking we only have this left from the snowman. And you can also use scraps if you have lots of scraps, as we all have scraps. Okay, so I want to do, so this is 3 3/4, and that's 4. So all my cuts are going to be 3 3/4. Okay. And I'm going to do, I think, a pocket, probably 2 inches and 2 inches. So that's 4, 5. So I need a piece about 5 inches long and at least 3 3/4. So I'm going to have to cut it this way. Okay, so here's 5. And here's 3 3/4. Okay, so there's my basic piece of paper. So I'm going to cut that at 2 for a pocket there. And 2 for a pocket up here. And a belly band. Okay, so let's set that aside. And then I think, so we got a pocket going that way. I'm kind of thinking to have one this way. If that's the case, I should have made that 4, but I didn't. But that doesn't matter because it doesn't have to go all the way across. That's fine. And then we'll have that there, and then I'll have that there, up there. Or we could just have it like that. I am going to put a thumb notch in these ones, I think 2. And just going to, this is 3 3/4. So what's that? 1 1.5 would be 3. 1 3/4 would be 3.5. So 7/8. So 1 7/8 is that, if I make a little mark there and then I move it along, yeah, so roughly for 3 3/4, oops, sorry, I was out of frame there, 1 7/8 is roughly the middle. Okay, and then I'm just going to take both of these pieces at the same time so that they will have the same notch. Okay, so there's our inside, and however you want to lay yours down, kind of like in that, but kind of like that too, where it looks a bit for the eye. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, so like I said, with this one here, it's just short on each side, but it doesn't really matter. If that bothers you, then just take into consideration that your measurements for this are 4 by 3 3/4. So you'd want to make this pocket 4 instead of 3 3/4 wide. But I think this is okay. Okay, so we'll get that down. So I still have my fall stuff out, as I usually keep it out till after Remembrance Day. So I'm going to, over the next few days, put that stuff away, and I'll put some kind of holiday themed stuff out. Definitely won't put my Christmas tree up, but I like to put my mini lights around. It's just, with the days darker now, so early. It gets dark here. Well, some days it's dark at 5 p.m. It's dark. I know I went somewhere. I went to Value Village, I guess, the other day. And when I went in, it was like 4:30, and it was a gorgeous evening. And I think I was in there about 45 minutes. So I got out about 5:15 maybe. And it was pitch black. When I was looking out the window, I was thinking, gosh, that got dark fast, but it does in November. Okay, so there's our inside. Okay, and it is going to get fattish, which is fine. If that bothers you, then you could make it a little bit smaller and put a little extra score line there so that it has a little bit of room, but I'm okay if it starts to get kind of fatty. That's nice. So on this page, I'm going to save that for, what I'm going to put there is a piece of vellum. That's going to end up being on this page. So I'm saving that for that. We'll get back to that one. So on the back page, I'm putting another little pocket. So you could put the flowers, but I kind of like that blue. So I'm going to do that. So this is 4. Well, it's a little bit short of 4. So it's sort of 3. Actually, I think I'll do the one on the back 3.5. And then it's not going to get wound up in the fold. So I'm going to do that 3.5, probably by 2. 3.5 by 2. And I want my lines going this way. Going this way. So I'm going to cut my 2 along that line there. So there's 2. Okay, so then I get it in the right direction that I want. And then I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4. Okay, so then that's going to go there. And with this one here, I'm not going to put a thumb notch in that because I would like to add some ribbons in here, like a little bit of texture. So I'll leave that to put some kind of ribbon or lace or something there. We'll figure it out. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue that down on my 3 sides. If your paper is directional, make sure you've got it the way that you want it. Okay, and then just going to put that down, making sure it's straight. Okay, so there is the basic album. All right, so we got dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Isn't that just sweet? And see how quick it went together? So I think I will just do, I have the stuff already cut out for what I want to put on this front strip here. So I've cut out a gold circle. So this is a 2-inch circle, and this gold I just got at Michael's. It's one of their gold foil packs of 8.5 by 11. So I've cut that out. And then I had this little scallop punch, and I punched just a bunch of different shapes for doing some stuff. So I think that will go just as well as anything. So I want to get that down. Sometimes foil, I find things sometimes don't stick all that great to foil. So what I tend to do is just take something and scuff it up a little bit, what's going to be underneath. And sometimes I find that kind of helps. And for this one here, I'm just going to use, I don't know if it's better or worse, but I'm just going to use a little bit of Fabri-Tac on this. That maybe that helps, I don't know. So, okay, so just take that. And let's put that there. Okay, and then I just took, I have these stamps from a long time ago. So I just took this stamp here and stamped out the frame. And then I just took one of my Christmas stamps and stamped the sentiment there. But before I put that down, I'm going to take some of this DMC metallic thread. I just got it at Michael's. This one is ORCL, I guess. I don't see any other name on it. And it's back in the sewing section. So I'm just going to use that. But I'm going to take a little bit of double-sided tape. Put that down. And then I'm just going to make a couple loops around there. Not really big loops unless you like very big loops. You can always look at the front and see how well that you like it. And I usually go around a couple times. So there's one. And I find that this just adds, stuck over there, a little subtle hint of gold. It's a little glimpse of gold. Okay, so I go around about twice and then chop that off. Okay, and if you want to set this up on dimensions, or if you want to put the whole thing up on dimensions, you can. The thing is, I'm going to be sending this in the mail, so it's going to be kind of thickish anyway, so I'm trying not to add too much more dimension. Now I'm putting some score tape on the top, because what the score tape will do is it'll hold down the thread and help stick this even better to this little piece of background. Okay, so I'm trying to center that. I think that's pretty good. Okay, and then I'm just going to put that right on the front there. Okay, and like I said, you could put it up on dimensionals, which would add a little bit more of that 3D kind of effect, but I'm just gonna, and you only want to put the glue, you don't want to put the glue all the way around, because it's only going to be sticking to that band. So you just want to be putting it kind of where the sentiment, in line with the sentiment, so that when it goes down, you're only putting the sentiment on that line, like so. Okay, and if you're concerned that it might kind of get on your background there, you can take something to lift it up. So I had a little something here, but now I can't find it. But alternatively, just get a piece of scrap paper to kind of stick in behind there, just to make sure it doesn't stick to your background. Okay, so there's your front, or however you want to decorate that. And then, so I've cut out some pieces of vellum that I thought would look cute, and that measures, on mine, the little piece of vellum measures 3 by roughly 3 7/8. So 3 by 3 7/8. And at the dollar store, and I know they have them because I have some left from last year, but I saw that they had them again this year. So I'm sure in the States, your Dollar Tree, you'd have them. But they have these little round stickers. I think they're made for the food, you know, cookie bags and stuff to close. But you could also put it on envelopes. But I'm going to use one here to stick down my piece of vellum. I'm going to pull it down some towards the bottom to give my sticker room at the top. So I'm not going to center it, and I'm just going to try to get that in the center. Okay, so then we have just a little interactive piece that flips up. So you could put kind of anything that you want there underneath there. All right, and then on this one here, I have printed out, and I'll go over all the other bits in my next video, but I printed out this little thing from a DigiKit, and I'll link the DigiKit in my next video because I'll talk more about it coming up, which I'm going to film after this one. Probably in the center, but I think that's cute. Candy Cane Lane. You could also leave that as a little pocket if you want. Let's just do that. Let's leave this as a little pocket, because we could always, in this mini pocket, we could put something like a little ticket or something. I don't have much left on my desk right now. That's why I think I'll need to come back later. Here's a little ticket. So if you had a little ticket, of some sort. Then you can stick your ticket in, just as a little, just as another little place to put little things. That's kind of cute. And then on the front here, you could make, I wanted something kind of flat, so I don't think I have what I want here. I think it's in another pile. So I think I'm going to stop here for now. Let you guys get your little book made up if you want to make it. You could do this with single-sided paper. It just, your inside, you may then want to glue another piece to that so that you have a pattern on both sides. Or if you do have a printer and you have a nice piece of print on one side, you could always run the non-pattern side paper through your printing machine and print a pattern onto the back side of your print. The other thing that you could do, and I did this last year, and I might do it again this year, but however, you can just take a bunch of your stamps. Hang on a sec, just drop something. Take a bunch of your rubber stamps, and this I just stamped. I just grabbed a bunch of my leaf stamps. I grabbed some different color greens. I think there's 3 different color greens here. Some red ink, some black, some stars, and you could just stamp on the back side of something from a pad of paper that's just single-sided. So there are a number of options if you don't have double-sided paper. For your pockets, of course, you don't need double-sided paper. The only reason I used it is because I wanted to try to stay with the 2 sheets, but use your scraps for your pockets. But I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to post this, and then in the meantime gather up all my stuff to start filling it and decorating it. Okay? So if you did like it, I'd love a like, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.